How's everybody doing today? This is a pretty fun event. Noyes' 50th. How many of you guys live in Noyes? A lot of you? Okay, yeah, I'm real jealous. I would love to have a cartoon-inspired portion of my dorm anywhere, and you guys, you get the Jetson Lounge. It is just so cool. Like, I imagine Noyes, whenever you come back, no matter what kind of day you're having, you must walk in there and it's just all of a sudden, meet George Jetson. And then you picture him flying around in the hovercraft, dropping off the kids at school. And then it gets to that point in the song where they introduce Jane, his wife, like he possesses her. She's gonna steal his wallet and then go shopping. And it's pretty much the same thing with the Flintstones, too. Betty, I've had such a tough day. The garbage disposal ate my last fork. Wilma, I'm having a terrible day, too. Bam Bam hit me in the head with a frying pan 8 times. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? And then they get that menacing look on their faces, and they pull out their Stegosaurus Express cards, and there's this explosion, and they yell, "Charge it!" And that's how you know they're gonna go spend all of Fred and Barney's money at the Bedrock Emporium. So great. This is what cartoons teach me. From the prehistoric Stone Age to the futuristic Space Age, women do nothing but make unauthorized purchases with their husband's hard-earned wages. Thanks a lot, cartoons. But if I were going to have a cartoon-inspired portion of my dorm, I wouldn't really want the Jetsons. I think we all know that I would much rather have a Disney foyer because I love Disney. Yeah. And I don't mean like, oh, I love Disney, like I'm never gonna grow up, I'm 20, but I still have Disney princesses all over my room, even though I do. And I don't mean like, oh yeah, let me put on my classic vintage-inspired Mickey Mouse tee with my skinny jeans and my big sunglasses, even though I have a vintage-inspired classic Mickey Mouse tee. But I don't do these things to be cutesy or hipster or cool. I do it because I'm obsessed with Disney. Like, Disney is the Elvis to my Uncle Jesse. That's how obsessed I am. And sometimes I worry about this a little bit at Vassar because Vassar kids are all incredibly conscious and the Disney Corporation isn't always that responsible. Even Mickey Mousing has this bad connotation to it. It means to like make extra commercial and marketable and it's like gross and corporate and everything. But I really don't think you should blame the mouse for that. It's not his fault. He's not leading the board meetings. He doesn't walk in there with his mug in the morning like, "Hiya, folks. I'd just like to say that stocks are up, and we sold a lot of toys that were made in China, so we made some good profits there, and I think we're pretty close to taking over the world, so see you real soon." That's not what's happening. But it's okay, because as good as Vassar students are at pointing out all these things that are wrong with the world, they're also great hypocrites. So everybody can just blast Disney in the classroom or in some heated debate somewhere, but I know that when we come back to the dorm, it's gonna be like, "Yo, check it out, look what I got on DVD, Enchanted, yes!" And Enchanted really does a great job of holding up this mirror to the society that Disney has created, because the whole point is that it's this collection or collage of all the Disney animated fairy tales, but they never point out exactly which one they're parroting at any given moment, so they have to rely on the stereotypes that they have created for the world. So you're watching Enchanted and you're like, okay, how do I know what's going on? How am I supposed to interpret what I'm seeing? Okay, let's see. There is a very skinny woman, fair-toned. She's either a princess or an aspiring princess. She giggles, she screams, very damsel in distress. She's fraternizing with a lot of woodland creatures. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call this a Disney female lead. So Disney does have a rap for being pretty hard on women and putting them in all these bad roles, but really I think it's the men who get the short end of the stick because they don't even have names most of the time. They are only filling the role that the story defines for them. In Cinderella, he doesn't even have a name. It's just Prince Charming, capital P, capital C, that's it. And I think Enchanted does a pretty good job of casting this one. That's Patrick Dempsey. He fulfills all the trifecta requirements, TDH, tall, dark, and handsome. Except I was always a little confused by that one. I guess dark means brunette. But if they wanted to be more accurate, they could have passed over McDreamy and gone with Isaiah Washington instead, right? But then they would have had to change it to TDHH, tall, dark, handsome, and homophobic. So I don't know if that would have gone over so well with the Disney fans. And then they've got every other stereotype in there too, like the villain, how do I know? Oh, the evil of aging. Nothing scarier than a woman over 40. Thanks a lot. That's who the witch is. But we talk about these ones a lot, but there are a lot of archetypes in the Disney movies and that Enchanted puts forth that we don't really think about so often. So it's a little bit harder to determine. Like, the villain always has some silly, bumbling sidekick, but that's tough. Like, how do I know he's the sidekick? How do they show he's the sidekick? Well, if he's chubby, then I know he's only there for comic relief. If he's fat, then he doesn't matter on his own. Oh, plump is Disney's way to tell you, just like LaFuta Gaston. That's how you know. That's how they show he's the one. Thanks a lot, guys.